Hi guys, Rain here, and we're gonna start a new series here today, and this is called Real Talk with Rain. Now, I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna play some Minecraft while I talk about this stuff because it's pretty lighthearted, and we might hit some pretty heavy stuff while we're going through this. Now, we're gonna cover some pretty heavy topics, but today we're gonna be talking about a little bit about Minecraft, about gaming in general, and how I personally feel about that. And we're going to talk a little bit about control and what it's like to be in control, and how it feels when society expects something from you that you can't deliver. And those sound like pretty broad topics, but I'm going to try my best to segue them into a concise knot and show how they really are the same thing. Now, we're going to start with a little bit of an anecdote from my childhood. When I was a child, like most American youths, I had no idea what I was doing with my life. I was, a child. I enjoyed myself. I went outside and played. I did, what I wanted to do, and usually that meant having a social experience with my friends, sometimes outside, sometimes being better than them at Mortal Kombat. Now, growing up in that sentimentality, it makes it to where life works on its own almost. Because guess what? There's always going to be someone there who's behind the scenes making it work. Whether that's a parent, whether that's, whether it comes down to you making it work sometimes. But usually, there's someone behind there making it work for you so that you can enjoy these things that are seen to be the American necessity, and live in that sort of lifestyle. Now, I was that way for a long time, and when I got into junior high, my dad basically said, from here you're your own man and live your own life. Now, I still don't quite understand everything that he meant by that. And he allowed me to make my own decisions and live my own, make my own, basically dig my hole. But if I dug a hole, I was stuck in it. And from here, I think that might have helped me out. But I see a lot of people in a similar situation. You see youths nowadays that, there's, put it this way. When you're 17, society, your parents, everyone really expects you to have your entire life mapped out for the rest of your life. That is something that is expected of you. Now, if you don't have that, then you are, behind. And how can anyone expect you to make a decision about the rest of your life when you still have to ask to go to the bathroom? Like, I find that just to be appalling that is, the something that our society finds the norm. Like, if you're got everything mapped out by 17 and you get your life together, by all means, good for you, However, the fact is that I am almost 20 now, and I still have no idea what I'm doing with my life, I work 40 hours a week in a job that I hate, and I do it because the alternative is worse. Now, don't get me wrong, I have plans, I do have goals, but those goals are something that are long-term, and you'll find as an adult that you're really easy to cheat yourself. There's going to be things that you're going to promise yourself, and you're going to make excuses, and maybe you already do that. Maybe that's just a human condition. I just feel like I used to be a whole lot better about that than I am now. And that's something else I'm a little bit sad about. Now, this segues a little bit into control, because when you choose your own life and you are in control of your own destiny, you don't know where that will go, and neither will the people that care about you. Now, sometimes that's for better, and sometimes that's for worse, because sometimes you will make the good decisions, and sometimes you won't. That's part of the human experience. But personally, I believe that experiences are flawless in their own nature. because here is just a little bit of what I believe. I believe that in life, you are given a lot of opportunity, an opportunity to make any choice. And no matter what choice you made, that life is still just as real as if you made any other decision. If I decided to, to quit my job right now, live out of my car, and use Starbucks internet to become YouTube famous, that'd be just as much of a normal decision as if I did, went to college right now and got, a degree in criminology and became an investigator or something. Something boring like that. That would still be just as real. It would still be just as real to me. And I would still maybe not feel the same emotions, but it's life. And life is something that no matter which stage of it in, you need to cherish. Now, I feel like this might be a little bit stretching it, but here's really how that, separates into Minecraft, and a little bit of why I like to talk with Minecraft, besides the peaceful music that's sometimes in the background that's eerily deserted me. I feel a little bit bad about that now because, there's no awesome music in the background to entertain me. There it is. Music's edging its way back in. Now, Minecraft, it's something that is really good if you don't have any control in your life. It makes you feel like maybe, you have something to control. Because in Minecraft, you have your own world, and it is legitimately your planet, and you might as well be God. I'm lacing this planet with explosives, and, that might not be the best decision, and it may not be the best way to picture choices, because really, explosives are never a good choice, but it's just one of those things that the world is really, in the end, you're the one that's going to shape it. Because, sure, you aren't going to be in creative mode in real life. You can't, punch trees down, and if you can, congratulations to you. You probably worked real damn fucking hard at that. But it's not going to be something that, you have that much control over. But, if you think about all the great people of your generation, or, even my parents' generation, you have Gandhi, you have Martin Luther King, you have, Elon Musk, you have all these, great human beings out there, and they were children once. We were children once. There's not a huge difference. Hell, you might still even be a child now, even if you despise, identifying by it. And that's just something that I find absolutely fascinating, is that, there's these people, these larger than life, that everyone always thinks is bigger than them. And it's, these people are the ones that are making the difference. And it gives me a little bit of faith that one day I might make that difference. And that might, really just connect with the world and show that maybe I'm not quite as worthless as I always said I was. I guess there's sometimes everyone has a little bit to prove. And, we got, Tennis Steve here. Who wears short shorts? I wear short shorts. Now that little childish rant away. And now it's raining. That's fine. TNT can blow up in the rain. So, a lot of that control goes into just, the way that we feel. And because if you have no control, you'll just generally be more reckless, and you will not have any self-control if you don't have control of yourself. That's, basically the best way to put it. And don't get me wrong, I don't have the best self-control. I got urges, but, it's something that you gotta live with and learn with. Because in the end, when they say, my body, my choice, that's exactly what it is. It's your body, and so you should know it better than anyone else. And if staying up until 5 a.m. on a school night doesn't work very well for you, you need to be responsible enough to make that decision. Alright, Okay, so you're probably wondering why I am wasting this planet with TNT. You will find out one of these days. Anyways. Yes, life is something that is, it is entertaining, because it's always changing, and, you know, you're always changing. You might think one day that you're done growing, but you are never, ever done growing. You will keep growing until the day that you die. And on that day, you'll probably grow at least an inch. Maybe not, you know, physically, but metaphorically, you know, you'll still grow as a person. And I find that to be another very fascinating thing about the human existence. Because we experience things, and we feel these things that other people, you know, might comment on and might say, I understand, but you can never fully understand how someone else feels. Even if you're in the exact same situation and have the exact same deciding factors, there's some baseline piece of the human, you know, of the human life that is not able to be reproduced. And saying otherwise is really just plain stupid. I mean, you know, this is something that I've actually wrestled with a lot lately. Well, actually, I've wrestled with this most of my life, you know. My mother's one of the kind of people that likes to say, I understand a lot, and me and her don't have the greatest relationship, you know. There was some negligence going on when I was younger, and basically, you know, it turned out pretty awful. But we don't have the greatest relationship, but it works out. But one of the things I have the hardest time working with is that she always says, I understand, or I know how you feel, and it's like, no, you don't. You can't possibly know how I feel. Maybe you can sympathize. By all means, sympathy is something that I feel is a great, you know, great option instead of that. You know, avoid pity, please, but, you know, sympathy, by all means, sympathize away. However, something like, you know, saying, I know how that is, or I get it, you don't get it, so don't try. Because guess what? No matter what you do, you'll never fully understand what it feels like. And, you know, that's the thing, is that everyone has different demons, and everyone has pain, and your pain will be entirely different from mine. And even if you understand my pain and know what pains me, you'll never understand how my pain makes me feel. And, you know, that's the thing, is that you are going to hurt. Something eventually, or something or someone will hurt you. Whether, you know, that is someone that, you know, gets stabbed by a mugger, I hope not, to be honest. You know, being stabbed by a mugger sounds like it would be a little bit painful, but whether it's something like that, or whether it's someone that, you know, decides to use you and hurt you that way, you will be hurt. But another thing to know is that regardless of how you feel, and regardless of how much you hurt, you also need to understand a few, you know, basic things. And the most basic thing you need to understand is that no matter how much you're hurt, you too are loved.